So when the drain is installed, most plumbers use plumber's putty. The problem with plumber's putty is that not every single time is a perfect seal created. Sometimes they'll take a length of it, wrap it around it, and touch the two ends. When they push it down, those two ends don't create the complete seal that you need to make sure that the water flows down here correctly, or doesn't flow down here correctly, excuse me. There's two ways the water can get down here. One is underneath the actual pop-up, the seam between the pop-up and the flange, but the other one that most people miss is the actual outer edge of the flange itself, okay? Now, when I pour this water in here, if this was a normal installation with plumber's putty, this is the possibility that you could come across if this happens. You pour the water in, and should I get this down here? I'm holding the plug down, so I know that is sealed. You'll see that the water is draining into this cup underneath because the seal, there's a seal that's not made somewhere. The way to test where this water is going down is what we call the pepper test, or as I just discovered, because I didn't have any pepper, you can use coffee grounds to do this, okay? You sprinkle some coffee grounds or some pepper into the sink and hold down the button to make sure that seal is good, and then you pour the water in. And then the coffee grounds, you can watch where they go, and that you'll see in this that they're starting to gather around the outer edge. The water, that's where the water's going. So the water's pulling those coffee kernels through the same path it's going down. That's how we determine where the water is going. Does that make sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the way to fix this, the best way to seal these things, is to use silicone, which is over here. So you just get some standard silicone. You can use white or clear, and this really should be dry. So you make sure this is all dry around here. You clean off your coffee or your pepper from before, and then you just put a bead of silicone around it. I mean, you can be as sloppy as you want at the beginning because you're going to push it down with your thumb. But as you get the silicone to go down around the outside, right, create your seal like that, and then you just take your thumb and you just work it in all the way around, like so. Okay, that's going to get into all the edges. You make sure it's good and tight in there. I know I'm making a huge mess, but guess what? Silicone comes off real easy with a piece of paper towel. So after you're done, the nice thing about this is, again, you can wipe everything down with your paper towel, because if you're pushing on the area where the silicone or where the seal is supposed to be, all you're doing is pushing the silicone down further into the into where it needs to be. You can even take this out, clean around the inside like this. Take the opportunity to, clean it totally, completely. What happens is you pour the water in, you hold the button, and the water will not drain into the cup down below. Bone dry. Okay? Any questions on that?